and they're down 2-0, and then that's, how are we going to come back? And then a guy by the name of Calvo comes up and scores a goal.
Right.
I mean,
we missed it, by the way. We didn't see it.
We did miss it.
In the 68th minute.
Well, we saw the replay. Yeah.
And then he scored another goal.
Yeah.
After that.
Less than 10 minutes later in the 77th minute.
But, of course, boys, it was all for naught because they lose 3-2.
Yeah.
In a game that, because of the lightning delay, didn't really matter anyways.
Right. As we discussed before, Montreal lost and removed any pressure whatsoever on Columbus to do anything.
Zardes still got his hat trick, though.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
We did talk about this. It was decision day in MLS, which Stevens and I talked about earlier. That's a bad name for decision day. Is more like voting.
Right.
Yeah, like you're making a decision.
Yeah, you're not really making a decision.
It doesn't sound right to me. Maybe I'll think about this over the next couple weeks, but I don't have a better name for it to give you right now, but that one just doesn't work for me that well.
I mean, even calling it something dumb like Results Day
or
makes more sense, because in election, you may not have the results on the election.
How about Moving Day?
Moving Day? If there was relegation, Moving Day would be good. Yeah. How about Super Sunday?
All right, well, I think we already came up with two better names.
That sounds a little bit like Sunday.
Yeah, well,
Monster Trucks.
Fine, MLS is trying to get marketing. Sunday at the Target Center. Super Trucks.
Regardless of the name, this year, today actually, I kind of found myself, the name kind of sounds really stupid, but it was kind of, especially while we had to wait out the hour and 15-minute weather delay, I actually was really enjoying kind of looking at the scoreboard. All these games are going on at the same time. They all started at 3:30 Central. And just looking at the scores, following the races, there was only a couple, for example, we don't need to get into it unless we want to, but what it was, LA Galaxy, who the Loons played last week, did not make the playoffs because they lost. All they had to do, I believe, was tie.
That's all.
Or at least win and you're in.
That's right.
And they're in, but they ended up losing 3-2 to Houston, a game which at home that they had a 2-goal lead in.
Yeah.
So
I think we all, three of us here, agree that having a day like today where all the teams play at the same time is pretty fantastic.
It is fun. Yeah.
And I almost wish the NFL would do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because you come down to the last game, and sometimes you got a noon start at 3 o'clock or a Monday night, and so you already know. If the NFL was smart, and I know they don't want to lose their television, there's too many games, right? But they would do it all at noon on the last Sunday, and nobody would know who was happening. Of course, this game screwed it over because of the delay.
Yeah.
So,
which is interesting,
yes. But the way it's supposed to work is everybody plays the same time. And
what they should have done is they should have delayed every game.
Oh, could you imagine?
Oh, could you imagine the people in those stadiums? It's sunny out here. Why are we delayed? Oh, Columbus is delayed.
Yeah.
Well, screw Columbus. Who gives?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
but that would add to some.
Yeah, it's certainly something that the MLS has got right. That's for sure, and I love it, Tony. That's right. If the NFL did that, it would eliminate some of those games where they have nothing to play for. So you have your backups in, and from an entertainment perspective, it would be significantly better.
And guess how much Sunday ticket if the NFL did this, and Sunday Ticket said, okay, for this week only, you can buy NFL Sunday ticket for $10. How many people would buy for $10 to watch all those games at the exact same time? MLS would be smart too if they had something like this, where they could say, okay, last game of the season, let's try to figure it out. Let's do a thing on wherever and do all games at the same time on different screens.
I believe they do have, MLS does have a TV package that you can buy. Didn't John have that a couple years
Johnny
ago?
had it, yeah. But what I was saying
now it's ESPN Plus.
Oh, ESPN Plus, which I just got.
What I was saying, though, is let's do a thing like Sunday Ticket, where the last game of the year, they show all the games on one kind of like NFL ticket, and you can pay $10 to see all of them. You know?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't get that? I would get that. If the Loons were in it, I would totally get that.
Right.
You know?
And they did it this year. They did a pretty good job. I think there were only 4 games not nationally televised.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not bad. I can understand why they didn't nationally televise ours, but at the same time, there were playoff implications.
They were.
So, but yeah, I agree. I think the NFL would be really smart to do that. The big leagues like the NHL and. Sorry, did I just call the NHL big compared to NFL?
Yeah, they're number 4, I think.
Huh, yeah. In fact, now I'm not even sure where I was going with that comment, because now that I caught myself. I think Major League Baseball, NHL should do that too.
Yeah,
I mean, just like schedule them all up.
Yeah, schedule them all. The last day of the year, schedule them all up.
Even if it doesn't matter, just do it.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
So... Comments about today's game, guys?
I got one that we can definitely talk about. I want to talk about the no calls. There was a couple significant no calls that we should talk
let's get into
about.
That.
And at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Darwin. Big one.
Yeah. When did that happen exactly? It was very early. It was relatively early. It was after they were down 1-0 at least.
So it was in like the 15th minute, maybe.
Might have been something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So to go back to it, Darwin has a breakaway, right?
3 guys chasing him.
3 guys chasing him.
1 guy in front of him.
1 guy in front of him. He gets down towards the box. Well, he's not in the box
He's
yet.
about 2 yards out.
2 yards out. Defender comes in, does a little slide tackle. Doesn't go for the ball.
No.
Trips Darwin on his back leg.
Yep.
Darwin goes down. No foul called whatsoever.
And Darwin never goes down.
Exactly. We've talked about this before. He is not a flopper.
Yeah.
He does not flop.
He's like the exact opposite of every other person.
Exactly right.
From south of Mexico.
There are so many plays where Darwin should go down, but he doesn't.
Yeah, right. And it's just frustrating because you can't say that the ref didn't have a good look at it.
Oh,
because
they saw
he
it.
did. He had
They
to
saw it.
And so why else would he go down? He was chased from behind. The defender went down and took Darwin down with him. He clipped his ankle. It was clear.
But the fact that the defender didn't even go after the ball,
right?
That's what kills me. If the defender got a piece of the ball, I would say it's a 50-50 call.
Well, he wasn't anywhere near the ball.
But he wasn't anywhere near the ball, and he tripped Darwin on his back leg.
So what do you think the ref saw? That defender slid in an attempted tackle, but did not hit him or the ball.
I say there are 2 explanations.
And Darwin Quintero just tripped. He tripped over his own feet.
No.
That must have been what he had to
I say there are
think
2 explanations. Aside from the trip.
Yeah.
Either 1, it's because he's a pro referee and he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2, it's because Columbus needs points, because at that time they don't know.
Yeah.
And MLS has already screwed Columbus over enough this season, even though they did save them. And they're playing favorites. And again, that's pretty harsh to say because it's suggesting they're fixing a game.
Very harsh, Dave.
But
very harsh.
I don't put it past.
Yeah.
I don't put it past him because you see these things, and in fact, on the TV, Manny Lagos was in the booth for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And one of the few things that I did catch him say was that they're going to talk to the league about reviewing how much Minnesota has been harmed by missed calls.
By missed calls, yeah.
And it's something because
it is something. We've sat here and talked about it ad nauseum. Why is the road record as bad as it is?
Yes.
Well, this today clearly is one significant reason why, and it would be the so-called home field advantage that teams get, and you can't. Whether the refs will never admit this, but it's because refs, I think, call in the favor of the home team more often than not. Now, it's not like a huge split, but even if it's a tiny percentage where referees have a tendency to side with the home team because they don't want to get booed out of the place, there's something to it, and we saw it today. That's one of the reasons they've only managed 1 victory on the road.
But is that a play that's reviewable by VAR?
Well, I brought this up because it was definitely a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yes.
But that's only a yellow card, so that's not reviewable.
Okay.
There was a defender in front of him, so it's not last defender, so it's not a red card, so it's not reviewable because there was a defender there, so
it was an obvious foul to all of us. I think if you talk to a Columbus Crew fan, they would say the exact same thing.
I think they would too.
Yeah. I think everybody saw it, and it was
Yeah.
So that was number one. Number two was the handball in the box.
Right.
Yep.
And that was blatant.
Yep. Looking at the replay, it certainly was.
He had his
arm
hand out.
extended.
Hand was extended.
On top of that, it wasn't moving away from the ball.
No.
It was stretched out.
Yep.
It was right in the path of the ball.
Yep.
And I don't know how you can't. Now, obviously, the referee could miss that.
Good.
And that's fine. But that's what VAR is there for.
And we got killed on that in a game.
It's been
previous.
several games ago,
games. We got killed on that in a game previous. The game I was at with you.
Yeah, it was Miguel Ibarra had a handball.
And they went at VAR, and they saw it, and they redid it.
And it was like 2 minutes later.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that screw the missed calls against Minnesota.
Yeah.
VAR has got to be looked at in the offseason.
Yeah.
Because there is no consistency whatsoever. And this is the perfect example because the referee's not going to see handballs all the time. It's a very difficult thing to see.
Got a lot of guys out there.
Yeah, and on top of that, you're not going to necessarily see if he's pulling his hand away.
No.
Because now his hand was out, so I can understand if he's pulling it away.
He wasn't, though.
Okay, the referee's not going to see that.
Yeah.
Not all the time. That's what VAR is there for, to see those things.
Yeah.
If we can sit on a TV screen, what is that, probably 50-inch?
Yeah.
40-something?
Yeah.
From 20 feet away, 15 feet away, and we can see on a replay, live even, that it's a handball, and then see it very clearly on a replay.
Yep.
Then VAR, a referee who's been trained, who has gone from absolutely nothing to a professional referee,
Yes, that's right.
watching on a screen that's like 2 feet away from their face with all the time in the world, should be seeing these things. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, yes. And again, I don't know what MLS, how many people they have looking at VAR. I don't know if they've got if there's a group of guys in somewhere I don't know what it's like. Okay?
I'm fairly certain it's just one, but
Okay, so
And the head official will get a buzz down, you would think. I think it works something like that because you see he has a little radio on his back, he has something in his ear, and
Exactly.
I think he gets notified when there will be a VAR review.
so there's one for each game.
One what?
One VAR official.
yeah,
for each game?
there's the four, the referee, the fourth
Okay.
official, the sidelines, and then the
VAR.
VAR.
Who
So
must sit up
maybe-
in the press box?
So maybe they need two guys up there then.
Maybe.
They need two guys watching everything and going back and forth between each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got one guy missing stuff like this, I'm sorry. That raises a lot of questions about how good VAR is.
Exactly. And if it's not gonna at least partially solve the problems, then what's the point of having it?
And it has solved some problems, but it hasn't solved all the problems.
No, and it's created more.
And it's created more.
Yeah.
And we saw that today. So, I guess, boys, any more comments on the last game of the season? I mean,
I do. We got one more negative, kind of late. What was it? It was just before halftime. Angelo Rodriguez, A-Rod, got hurt. The injury at the time looked pretty serious. He ended up getting subbed out for Dunlawdy.
Yes.
But yeah, that did not look good. I
I
hope
was-
he's okay.
He
He
got
was
hit-
up. You could see him walking around a little bit, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's not a significant injury there.
he got hit twice on that play.
Yeah, he might have avoided, say, a significant knee injury, but because you can't always tell.
Yeah.
It might end up being a sprained ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And then one other positive, unless you want to add to that, but one other positive, I think there was. Now it's the last game of the year, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Things are going to change dramatically going into next year, as we already talked about. But I did think there was another positive, other than the fact that they came back and tied it up, was they showed a little sign of life, I think, in my opinion, with regards to their counterattack.
they did,
United.
yes, they did.
I'd agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that
that's
was
some good counters.
They did, and they.
What was the possession?
It was. I've got it up here. The possession was actually a little better than our season average. It was 47 Minnesota to 53 Columbus. So a little better than we usually see. It was a little closer to 50-50.
Yep.
It comes down to it, though. The shots on goal for Columbus was 19